I'll admit it, I really didn't know much about Astro Bot until today. I've heard about this PlayStation mascot in the past, I've seen pictures of him, and that's about it. I didn't really know what was the story behind him or really what was going on with this sort of character or mascot. Doing a sort of deep dive, I found out that Sony has been using this character for the past 11 years now, ever since 2013. With the PlayStation 4, they have used Astro Bot as a sort of PlayStation icon to show off their technology, so to speak, for the PlayStation 4 and later PlayStation 5 consoles. Now, to my understanding, Astro Bot has been in 4 separate games, and all of these games have been sort of tech demo type of things. I believe 3 of the 4 games mainly centered around virtual reality or augmented reality, kind of showing off some different PlayStation hardware, like the PS4 VR, and then the most recent Astro Bot game was all the way back in 2020, and it's weird to say all the way back, but yeah, that was 4 years ago. Now this, I don't think was much, if at all, a VR sort of experience. It was a platformer, but it was not a full game. It was a sort of introduction to the PS5, I believe. It actually shipped with PS5 consoles, and that was it. So Astro Bot, as cool as he or she or it is, he's never really had a fully fledged game at all. He's just kind of been there to show off what the PlayStation can do, and that's about it. But I've been seeing a lot of people talk about how a lot of these games, or experiences, I guess you could call them, were very awesome, as short as they were. I was actually looking up a video on Astro's Playroom. That was the most recent 2020 game, and it looks awesome, I will admit. So it sounds like people have been wanting a fully fledged Astro Bot game for some time now. Well, as it turns out, Sony had the PlayStation State of Play today. A lot of awesome stuff was announced. God of War Ragnarok, for example, is coming to PC in September. Marvel Rivals, that Overwatch competitor game, that is coming to consoles. They showed off the Silent Hill 2 remake. They also showed off Monster Hunter Wilds. I believe that's the next installment in the Monster Hunter series. So yeah, some really cool stuff, but I believe the very last thing that they announced, and this actually seems to be the thing that people are the most excited about. Yeah, not Silent Hill, not God of War, not Monster Hunter. It was that Astro Bot is finally getting a fully fledged 3D platformer game. This was announced by Sony. It is actually coming September 6th. That's only about 3 months from now. The trailer for this game looks awesome. It looks so fun. And I really cannot stress this enough. Like, this game, compared to everything else that was announced in this PlayStation State of Play, in my opinion, got the absolute most hype out of anything else. That, to me, says a lot. Astro Bot, like I said, has just been a mascot for Sony for the past 11 years now, just to show off certain technology, certain tech demos, that sort of thing. Like, that's it. So the fact that people are going nuts over this game finally being announced says that Astro Bot, just with the 3 or 4 small demos that he's been in, is a really popular mascot, is just, a really fun sort of game, sort of environment, and PlayStation gamers really, really like it. So I guess it's no surprise that they ended up deciding to make a full Astro Bot game. I don't know, to me, when you got like Silent Hill and Monster Hunter and all that, and then you just got this Astro Bot game and people are freaking out way more about that, I don't know, it says a lot. It says that Sony is really taking Astro Bot seriously. They're making it as fun as possible. And like I said, the trailer just looks great. It looks very exciting. I'm not one for the gimmicky type of stuff like VR headsets, that sort of thing. I know it's for a lot of other people, it's just not for me. But I love 3D platforming, so I love that they're going all in on Astro Bot, and not just to use for gimmicks, but to take seriously as a fully fledged IP in a 3D platforming game. I'm thinking that just by the gameplay footage I saw in that trailer, this is going to be a huge success for Sony.